Hi, my name's David Hamlow. I'm an installation artist. I primarily work with recycled materials. Dark Hearing is an immersive installation, all in black light. It's the first major black light installation that I've done. The imagery on the walls is derived from hobo signs, the kind of symbol language that itinerant homeless travelers used to use to communicate to each other both the opportunities and the dangers of the road. It also includes a new geodesic sphere made completely from pizza boxes and PVC plastic vegetable tubs. Don't give up. I've used all recycled materials in the current body of work that I'm making. So things like paperboard, which is cereal boxes and pop cases, PVC plastic, things like salad green tubs. The kind of interesting thing about my recycled materials is that it's all for my own consumption. So I don't get materials from other people. When I finish the cereal, I break down the box and I set it aside. Everything that you see is one person's consumption. We call it installation. All that means is that rather than like a painter with a canvas, the room's the canvas. So you take an empty room and you fill it with stuff, but you're also thinking about the dimensions of the room and the type of space that it is and responding to that. Or in the case of this show, you're trying to hide the room or make people forget the space and feel transported to a different place. This show has a few themes, and a lot of it's built around this imagery that I found of hobo signs. So when people used to ride the trains, they would make symbols on doorposts and walls to let other travelers know where there's an opportunity, but also where there's a danger. So I was interested in those because they're a visual language. They don't involve written words. But then I was interested in how the meanings of them can be read a bunch of different ways. Behind me, there's one that looks like a couple tubes attached together that's called Easy Mark, and what that means is the person who you think you can manipulate. So I thought, well, that's something that can be taken a lot of different ways, and I think it's interesting that, you know, if you think about politics, both the left and the right think the other person's being manipulated. So then you ask yourself, well, is maybe everybody being taken advantage of? So I like those things that it can have more than one meaning. It had this practical meaning for these travelers, but it can have other meanings too. As far as the recycled materials, that actually grew out of what I considered like the larger frame of my work, which is autobiography. All of my work is about my daily life, and I'm interested in the simple stuff, the things everybody does. You know, driving to work, making your dinner, cleaning the house, stuff like that. You know, those are the things that make up most of our life, but we think of them as things that get in the way of life. They're actually really necessary. But also I think we're always having daily problems and we'd like to solve those problems. And so what I do is I take a life problem, like a daily life problem, and then I find an artwork that can be about that problem. And a lot of it is about just appreciating day-to-day life. I always hope people will be impressed and maybe a little worried about how much material one person can consume. So that's always part of the message for me. This show's a little different because it's in the dark. So I hope that people will come away thinking that installation art is fun and that it can transform a space and make it seem like a different world. And then also maybe just be curious about some of the imagery that's in the show and go out and find out more about it. Don't give up. Don't give up. Be quiet. Hold your tongue. Keep away. Man with a gun. Be quiet.
you.